So I'm sorry that it's been like over a week since I've reviewed anything or, talked about anything seriously like music related on this channel. Honestly, midterms are this week and it's been like really hard to juggle both of these things, but the good news is that I'm going home in a week, well not in a week actually, in like half a week. So literally I'm gonna try to get so many reviews done. Like I'm trying to do the reworking of Twin Fantasy if I don't get that done before I leave, Gangnam Fever by Black Milk, Superorganism, Maybe All Nerve by The Breeders, 2012 to 2017, Against All Logic, The New Screaming Females, just all the albums basically. I probably won't get done with all of those just because like that's like a review a day and I'm still like listening to all these projects and trying to digest them and like gather notes together, but I'm gonna do as much as possible to make up for this little like gap. So I'm pretty much almost done gathering all of the things that I want to say about Twin Fantasy, but I figured I've kind of had this in the back of my head for such a long time, this will be a really like swift, quick review so I can get back to finishing all of my stuff up for midterms. I want to talk about the new Kero Kero Bonito EP. I have no idea how you actually pronounce this, or if it's like TOTEP, or if it's like TOTEP EP, like separate words. I don't fucking know. KKB is a group that I've been listening to for quite a while now. They dropped Bonito Generation back in 2016, which was a very synth-pop and J-pop driven album. It was definitely very sugary and cutesy, and although I definitely respect the intention behind this album and recognize that it's a very like technically, I would say objectively, but like objectively, according to my scale, it's a very well-made album. At times, it kind of just feels so sweet that it's hard to swallow. It's kind of an overload of one thing. The lyrics are very blunt and playful and sometimes ridiculous, which totally fits the sonic approach to the effort. It's just that for my personal taste, I do enjoy music that has more of a heaviness or a kind of bite to it, although I totally recognize that not all people are like this, and it's a very enjoyable project if you are into the kind of very peppy and lighthearted synth-pop approach that Bonito Generation takes. To an extent, I feel like that is kind of a project that people are going to either love or hate full on. It's hard to find people in between. Only Acting was the first single that dropped off of this EP, and it was kind of like a day or two before I was supposed to get a singles update done over on my blog, thesoundbinge.com, and I actually instantly loved it, so I remember in like that day or two I just played it over and over and over again, both to let it sink in and because it was such a banger. It has this epic hard rock sound with a very satisfying crescendo. It's definitely the most complete feeling of the EP, has a really strong melody. Although I didn't really look into the lyrical content until now, re-listening to it, I think that this is kind of about like some sort of casual like relationship or situation she was in where she like thought it wasn't as serious as it became, like she caught feelings for someone she wasn't supposed to. Again, no idea if that's what the song's actually about, but that's what I took away from it. And then the full EP dropped, and at only 11 minutes, really what I was looking to get out of this album was a good time, a few good moments, but nothing too crazy just because it's so short. And although Only Acting is definitely the standout song on this EP, I still feel like I did get that. The One True Path is especially nice. I love how raw and kind of gritty this track is. It's really only bass and distortion, and a few smooth sounding synths are worked in as well, and I love the organ that comes in near the end of the track. And it kind of surprised me how much I like the lyrics on this cut as well. They're kind of mysterious and dark, and they present something that I haven't really gotten from any other KKB material up until this point. And while you could say cinema kind of does go back to the roots of Bonito Generation in that it's mostly synthetic, it's definitely much duller, calmer, it's not as like peppy and in your face. It definitely has a very isolated feel to it, and it's kind of taking on this concept of a cinema and people watching her, and just overall frustration with kind of how she relates to people. It's just a nice, mellow, sleepy closer that definitely does not overstay its welcome in only 2 minutes. The only moment really on this EP where I was slightly disappointed was with You Know How It Is. I guess the production is just kind of messy for my taste. It doesn't really have a satisfying build-up. It's a little too structurally straightforward for my taste as well, and the lyrics definitely are not as strong as the other 3 tracks. Overall, I dig this EP. I really like how it combines these harder-hitting instrumentals and more serious and somber lyrical tones with still the same lighthearted trademark KKB vocals that we're used to. There are moments that I feel like they could have taken the time to fully realize or flesh out. Still, it was really interesting to see them go in this direction, and I do kind of wish that we had like a full album in this sound because it naturally appeals to me more than Bonito Generation did, and I feel like they could be really successful in it. So I'm gonna give this thing a 7 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe for more music reviews, and I will see you in probably about half a week.